Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Yohane, the Sunshine in My Mirror, episode 12. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to Love Live, there's always that certain episode towards the end of a series where we're gonna have some sad moment or crying moment, or maybe a shed tear down the line. We know this is happening because that's happened in a lot of Love Live. If you go back to all the previous Love Live episodes, you see that before an episode ends, it's always that drama, the sadness that's gonna happen. One of which is that when Yumi slapped Honika in the face, and I didn't like Yumi for doing that. But it's a sad moment. I mean, it was sad and shocking to see that. But again, I didn't like Yumi for doing that. I didn't like Katori for doing that. I don't like those two. They're my least favorite girls in Love Live. But that's a different topic in another way. But this is how it works. So this episode of Yohane Sunshine in the Mirror does demonstrate just how this is. And like Love Live, it's always flashbacks and there's always a bond, mutual relationship that they have, especially with this episode. So without further ado, let's get right to it with Yohane Sunshine in My Mirror, episode 12 review. Okay, now let's cut to the chase. Lailaps and Yohane. The two that has been together since day one. And I ain't talking about the first episode. I'm talking about when they were little. When Yohane was just a little kid and Lailaps was a little puppy. And then when time goes on, Lailaps got bigger, Yohane left, and Lailaps started talking. And in the first episode of that, we're like, how is this dog talking? And how come everybody can't talk to her, but Yohane can? And then we got further and further into the episodes where we finally got the info that her magic was the reason why Lailaps was able to talk to her. And the only one that could talk. So it dives in and more. Now, the title says Goodbye Lailaps. So to me, before this episode even ended, before the show even started, I started to think about fantasy animes. And I always think about how fantasy anime works, where it's kind of like, when it comes to fantasy, no matter what genre it is, there's always that certain scene where there's going to be some death involved or a red flag. This one did. So you guys remember last week when Lailaps catch Yohane's staff and, breathing hard, she's about to die, all that. While that is happening, the calamity is affecting all of it. The calamity around is still affecting the town. And Yohane's still looking for Lailaps. Once they found her and all, it's had that bond episode. How Yohane couldn't find Lailaps. So where would you find Lailaps? Okay, the one spot you'll find her is the very, very first episode that has been going on. I like how this episode kind of transitioned, like everything is about the first episode. The tree stump. That stump is the source of the calamity. That source is the birth of calamity trigger. This is the birth of everything that was going on in the first episode. Now, I did like the flashback that Yohane and Lailaps have for each other. Their bond is so strong, so strong. Even though there were times when they had mistakes, there were times that they believed in themselves, all that stuff. Their bond is so strong. And how they were able to talk to each other, communicating with each other, it was nice. It was so nice to see them, to see each of them grow, and again, how they bond increase. Everything about this episode shows us a lot. Again, the flashback makes you want to feel teary-eyed, and the communication is there. That's the thing about Love Live, and it's compared to this one. That's what they do. They make people sad and feel crying because something's gonna happen when their life is about to be over. When is that time is up, that it ain't gonna fly. Kind of like with Love Live. Go back with Muse. Go back with Aquas for a bit. Do you guys remember when this time, when we got to season 2, we had the 30 years about to leave, and then when you had those 30 years getting ready to leave, something sad was gonna happen, and you felt like you want to cry. It's like all the moments that Muse and Aquas have done for the team, that it's time for them to go. That's what they did in this one. To see Lailaps and Yohane talk for the one last time, and I said the one last time because that was the one last time. Now, we got Yohane's solo performance once again. And Yohane's performance symbolizes a mirror reflection of her one self. It's showing, like, it's like, again, mirror reflection. Like, it's showing yourself, and then it's your new self. Your past self and your present self. That's all. And that's exactly what it is. Because again, you go back through all the episodes of this. Go back through all the episodes. You see Yohane growth as a character, developing of loyal, trust, and making friends along the way. She has come a long, long way. And we got to see Lailaps on the stage. But here's where the sadness comes in play, guys. This is where the sadness comes in play. The fact that Lailaps is now can't talk to her anymore. Like, by talking, I don't mean like talking. I mean like, ruff, just that voice right there. Like, she has that dog voice. Like, she can't talk to her anymore. She's just talking like a dog talk. And it's sad. Like, it's sad that she can't talk to Lailaps anymore, because that sacrifices everything. It's sad that she can't talk to her anymore, but their bond is strong. Their bond is so strong. And that's what I like about it. This was a very emotional episode, but it's not like I thought she was going to die, but it turns out it's like a sacrifice. A voice of Yohane, the voice to talk to Yohane, to like talking animal-like. And that's the only thing that was said about it. Now, after this episode, they're going to save the world. They're going to save the world. They're going to find a way to stop this calamity either way. And for this episode to go out like this, you know that the next episode is going to be a really impact episode filled with friends. Mom comes back. It's going to be and probably our final performance. I mean, you go with all 9 members of Aqua's together. They're going to perform one last time. And that's how it's going to be. But overall, though, this was a very emotional episode. I mean, you probably sad, you probably shed a tear a little bit, but this was about Yohane and Lailaps' friendship, how they communicate each other, how they help each other out, how the support of one another became what they are, and that's what it was. I know this video is kind of short and all, but in this fantasy world, you know, things will happen to it in a positive way. Sure, this episode was sad, but next week is the last episode, which means it's going to be a positive episode. So we'll see where it goes. So I look forward for next week's episode of it, which is the ending of Yohane, Sunshine, and Mirror. And to all you Love Live fans out there, please watch this, because this is one of those episodes you have to watch in Aqua's performance. So stay tuned for next week.